Yeah, we can start now.
Is my voice clear enough?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, then I would like to welcome you all to the second seminar of Aspire4Impact. Today, we're here to share insights on project documentation with you all. My name is Azra Marash, and I'm a member of award sub-team in 6429 Fourth Dimension. Joining me is my teammate Zeynep. Zeynep, you can introduce yourself if you want to.
Hi, everyone. I'm Zeynep, also from 6429. I'm also in the awards and grants sub-team for almost 3 years now. Yeah, we're looking for impact. We're working on impact, and I'm also in this project.
Well, our team is glad to be a part of the Aspire4Impact seminar series, collaborating with several other amazing impact finalists like 1511 Rolling Thunder, 3990 Tech for Kids, 5614 Team Sycamore, 6652 Tigress, 6429 Fourth Dimension, and 6865 Manitoulin Metal. These seminars are aiming to share strategies and experiences about critical aspects of FRC. You can continue on with the next slide, Zeynep. To give a little bit of information about our seminars, each seminar will be conducted on Sunday, 11 p.m. EST, and our next seminar will be focusing on impact essay writing. And we would like to remind you that these sessions will be recorded for accessibility and will be shared in social media. So keep in mind that if you choose to ask questions or write in the chat, your input will also be recorded as a part of the session. Because of this, we advise you to ask your questions after the presentations are over. And speaking of questions, if you want to ask anything to us, please do not hesitate because we're here to guide you all. Zeynep, you can continue. In this seminar, 6429 and 3990 will be presenting, so let's hear it from them. Tech for Kids.
Hey, so hi. There's 3 teammates today. We are from Montreal, Quebec. We will be presenting the importance of social media in project documentation. I will be presenting. I'm named Maria. This is my teammate,
Lara.
and
I'm Milia.
and we are Tech for
Tech for
Kids.
Kids.
Okay, thank you.
And I would like to mention Yana from 6865, our co-host, for her help as well. I guess we can continue on with our presentations. Well, one of the core ideas that we emphasize is the importance of reflecting on past experiences to guide new teams. Whether it's about improving communication with judges or preventing any misunderstandings, documenting every aspect of our outreach is the key. Tangible data, such as the number of people reached, project partners, funds raised, ensures that we showcase the impact of our initiatives effectively. Let's dive into how we document our projects efficiently, addressing both the what and why of our process. Well, Fourth Dimension strongly believes in the saying, the palest ink is stronger than the sharpest memory. But what do we mean by that? We mean that throughout documentation is essential to ensure our experiences and they are not just remembered, but effectively utilized. This approach serves multiple purposes, such as reflecting past experiences on rookies. By recording our successes and lessons that we have learned, we provide guidance for new team members and we help them avoid mistakes and build on what's already been achieved. The other part that we use this for is the clear communication with our judges. Detailed and well-organized documentation allow us to present our efforts in a professional way, making it easier for the judges to understand the scope and the impact of our projects. And last but not least is preventing any complications. Accurate records reduce misunderstandings and ensures that all stakeholders, whether they're judges, partners, or teammates, are aligned on what has been accomplished and how. This also helps us emphasizing inspiration on STEAM and FIRST. And this is all I want to say for this slide. Zeynep, you can continue. But how does Fourth Dimension report projects? We've developed a systematic approach to document our projects throughout the 8 years that we've been conducted on FRC. This systematic approach ensures consistency and credibility in all of our project efforts. Each step is designed to align with our team's goals and values. The first thing we do is defining our project objectives. This means that we clearly outline what we want to achieve for each project. For example, an objective could be to inspire interest in STEAM for disadvantaged groups or to educate a community about environmental issues. These objectives serve as a map, ensuring that all actions taken align with what we want to achieve. A well-defined objective could be specific, measurable, and achievable within a given timeline. Next on is identifying project partners. Identifying the right partners is crucial for the project's reach and effectiveness. Project partners could include schools, local businesses, NGOs, or other FRC teams. For instance, in this project, Aspire4Impact seminar series, we've collaborated with experienced FRC teams to provide a wider range of insights for our audience. The right partnerships allow us to pull resources, expertise, and making our efforts more impactful. The next step is setting a target outreach. Target outreach goals involve determining the scope and scale of the project's impact. For example, we might set a goal to reach 100 students throughout workshops or engage 50 online participants in a webinar. Setting these targets provides a clear metric to measure source success and helps in aligning our efforts with available resources. And last but not least is notes of documenting proof of outreach. Proof of impact includes tangible evidence that demonstrates the success of a project. This could be attendance list, feedback forms, photographs, videos, or even testimonials from participants. And the way we can achieve this is through letters of confirmation, a key part of this process, often signed by a partner or authority involved in the project. For example, after hosting a STEM workshop, we request a letter from the school confirming the number of students who attended and how they engaged. By documenting each step in collecting proof of impact, we ensure that our projects are not only meaningful, but also credible. It helps us maintain transparency and showcase the measurable outcomes of our efforts. And the last thing that we do is taking notes from our responsible members. Usually when we conduct projects, we make one veteran member as like a project leader, and then they will be sharing their insights with the new rookie members. So with this way, we can make sure that every single team member is actually taking part in their projects. And the thing that I would like to share with you all is an unmeasured project is a non-existent project. So tracking and presenting clear data is what transforms ideas into impactful contributions. Now my teammate Zeynep will be sharing you on how to prepare the best way of doing letters of confirmations, and then we will share you on some examples on like how we document each outreach. Zeynep, the stage is yours.
Thank you. I would like to talk about letters of confirmation a little more. Well, like my friend said, it's a written document that verifies or confirms the details of an event, an agreement, an invitation, transaction, or anything else, basically. It's a piece of information that shows that whatever we've done has actually happened, and there were people that participated. Without it, we cannot prove that we've actually done the project we made. And like I've said, we do it to avoid any misunderstandings and to provide official verifications. And it actually needs it needs to have the date, the methodology, the project partners, and the signature of an official. That's usually the school's principals or someone that's in the higher state. And it like I've said, it helps us with the official verification. It provides credibility in our name. And the more people that the more letters of confirmation you have, the more credible your name is. Other than that, I would like to give a little more about our dedication to outreach and how we do the documenting. Well, right after we finish our projects, we actually do the documentation thing. Like my friend said, first of all, we set the target outreach, for example, like at least 25 people, at least 30 people, at least this much people. And then we work to first achieve that many people. reach out to that many people and then to reach out more people. Like, for example, there's a First Lego League. They're empowering women in STEAM. There are different ways of doing all these. This is actually a PDF that we gave to the judges in last year's Impact. Well, my friend can actually explain a little more on this.
Yeah, of course. So we have also written down the mentored and assisted teams. This way we can clearly show our impact to the impact judges. And this was like, we printed these out and then we just handed them to the impact juries. And we've also written down our volunteering hours and mentor and assisted hours. This way, we believe that if we show them enough data, we can be more impactful on the jury. So when you're doing projects or like assisting or mentoring any teams, it will be great if you just like write down everything that you've done, and then you can turn them into like into a piece of paper like this. You can continue on with the next one.
The other one's also a piece of paper or a PDF document that we presented to the judges. It's also about the online outreach that we take, and not just face-to-face. As you can see, it's only 3.9% of our outreach from last year. Social media is, of course, super important, and the other team, 3990, will be discussing about that. From YouTube, for example, we've got 3,837 people watching us. We've reached that many people, and that's not really possible when you are a group of teenagers, actually. So it's very important to not just look for face-to-face outreach, but also online projects. Yeah, let's hear about Team Sycamore, the other team.
Okay, so as we mentioned before, we will be discussing the importance of social media in project documentation. So, first of all, why do we use social media? We've learned that it's very helpful for when you are trying to connect with your community. And if you are aiming to win the Impact Award, this is a very key factor. We can switch slides. Okay. We've learned that it's very important because over the years, for example, we've seen that it allows our community to stay up to date with our development, such as developments on our robot projects and our outreach initiatives. Of course, keeping your community up to date is vital, yet social media can bring so much more to the table. We can switch. In fact, social media can open doors to new opportunities and sponsorships. We all know that sponsors aim to finance projects that will give their brand visibility. And the more followers you have, meaning the more people you can access, the more sponsors will agree to finance your team, thus allowing team members to experience the magic of first without having to worry about their financial struggles. Moreover, social media also allows us to team up with first community during off-season, building season, and even competitions. As you can see, this webinar is an example. My teammate Milia can continue.
Yeah, so we can switch slides. Can we switch slides? So it's important to post updates, because whenever you post updates about your project on your account, whether it's one of your team's small breakthroughs or you reached your final goal, all those posts compiled create some sort of an archive on which you can look back on and see all the work you did throughout your journey or the progress you made. It can even give you an opportunity to laugh about mistakes that are now obvious to you that weren't as much in the past. So you can switch slides and I'll let my teammate talk.
So our main goal should be to attract the greatest number of young people interested in STEM. Because who says that robotics can be fun and educational at the same time? This is what we want to show our community. We want to show the creative, the innovative, the engaging, and of course, the fun aspects of it. When young students watch your content, they have to be amazed by how robotics can make them use science to have fun. They have to feel invited to the amazing opportunity that FIRST offers us to be able to learn so much while being part of this one big welcoming family. We want to show that robotics is truly for everyone. You can switch slide. Whether you like arts, music, science, and even sports, you can send this message by posting diverse content to make sure that you reach the largest audience possible. It is also important to be able to showcase the efforts your team members are making by putting them up front and taking as many pictures of them as possible. Also, we have to consider the fact that parents want to see their kids in action. It is also essential to show the joy provided by the hard work of our students, because after all, that's what FIRST is all about. Surpass yourself and be proud of all the things you've been able to outcome thanks to your passion and your perseverance. One last thing, you have to find your identity. What do you want to change in this world? What impact do you want to have on your community? Once you've found that, your post must rely on the projects you do to make it happen. Everyone needs support to be able to achieve things, and social media is the way to find it. This is why you have to be consistent and convince people through your post that your projects are worth supporting. You can switch slides. What we like to do during the building season is to post a recap of all the work done by our students without disclosing any information about our actual achievements to keep the effect of surprise. You can click. So as you can see, our first picture was week 3 because it was the 3rd week of building season with like bright colors. And we showed the picture of our students working on the robot. We can only see the bumpers, so there's no information disclosed. You can click. Then we show the picture of our students working. Then we showed a picture of a project we were working on that we talked about in the caption because we're looking for support and that's a way to do it. Click. And the last picture was a rookie team working on their pit for the first time. Now I'm going to let Maria continue.
Maria, your mic is off.
I'm so sorry. Okay. So now that we know what social media is useful for, you can hear me. Okay, so yeah. Now that we know what social media is useful for, how can we do it? How can we access our community? How can we get sponsors? And how can we explore new aspects of robotics? This is where you have to listen. So first, let's start from the base. What platforms should we use? We have a variety of options, yet YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are your best options because of how many people visit these apps. Personally, Tech4Kids mainly uses Instagram, YouTube and Facebook for like the parents. But TikTok we will not be using because it is banned in our school setting. So we will further develop YouTube and Instagram. Okay. So which apps should you use for what? YouTube is useful for longer videos such as the robot reveals and project reveals, while Instagram is useful for pictures, regular posts, and reels. Now Zahra can continue.
You can switch slides. Now you need to know which format to use for each purpose. Let's dive into it. If you want to make an announcement, like a new sponsor, an event, or an update about your current project, I would recommend using a traditional post. You want your pieces of information to stay visible and accessible, making this format used for professional purposes. Don't forget to add detailed caption. This includes context, hashtags, and even relevant tags. If you want to send a message or emphasize something, like sharing a big event or expressing ideas through viral songs, then you should use Reels or short videos. It's the same thing. Reels contain both visuals and sounds, allowing you to bring your thoughts and ideas to life. They also have excellent reach. Thanks to platform algorithms, Reels are often shown to users beyond just your followers. For community interaction, going live would be your best choice. It allows you to connect with your audience in real time, which allows you to answer questions, do live demonstrations, or even host Q&A sessions. It is super important to keep in mind that every time you post something on your account or someone posts something about your team, you have to put it on your story to boost visibility. Stories can act as reminders. So even if someone misses your post on their main feed, they'll still see it on your story. You can also add interactive elements like polls, quizzes, or countdowns to encourage participation and get feedback. Now back to Mehdi.
Yeah, so we can switch slides. And you can click as I talk. So the more you post on your account, the more feedback you can get from your community or your followers. This feedback is important when it comes to advertising your project. For example, if you know your most popular posts are videos with a blue title, when you're announcing your project, you can use all the data collected, just like this one, to give your project the most visibility possible. One of the most useful tools that you can find is the professional dashboard, just like we can see on the screen. There's an equivalent of this in almost every social media app, like TikTok has one, and I know YouTube also has one. So in there, you can find all the info about your views, what your followers liked, how long they watched the video, and all the stuff like that. So you can keep switching slides. Yeah, you can. So for the do's and don'ts, here are a few rules that our team established over time when you're posting about an upcoming project or one that's ongoing. So number one, you should post consistently and at the right time of the day. So for example, if you're in build season, you should post every week or so to update your followers on what your robot is looking like. And most teams do the same. But what a lot of them forget is that you can't post at any time of the day if you're trying to get visibility on your project. You should analyze your views and figure out what time is best, what time your followers are most active. So number two, you should post something entertaining, sure, but it should always stay relevant to what you're working on. Otherwise, you lose your focus and like your theme for your page. Number three, always correct your captions with whatever tool is available, whether it's a teacher, AI, Grammarly, or anything of the sort. Because it's always the little things that can greatly affect your reputation as a team. And lastly, have a color palette for each project or just your entire feed. Because it's always important to keep in mind that how your team presents itself is very important. It kind of sets how your team will grow and how it'll be seen in the future. Now, for the don'ts. As we mentioned earlier, you should post consistently, but you should never sacrifice the quality of your post just to make the deadline you set. For example, if my team normally posts every Friday, because that's the day our followers are most active, but I only have one reel filmed and it's in bad lighting and we can't hear anything clearly in the video, I'm not going to post it. I'll either take the time to refilm it, re-edit it, or I'll post it on Saturday, so a day after. Number two, never ever reveal sensitive information. It might seem obvious right now, but once you're filming or taking pictures, it's hard to think about it. Sensitive information would be like posting a picture of your robot, just like Zaha mentioned, when you don't want any other teams to copy your design, even if it's in the background. It could also be accidentally showing a team member's address that's on a document. So it's all like small accidents that can happen, but you always need to make sure that you never show any sensitive information. Number three, do not post about a supposedly finished project if it's still a work in progress. So let's say you want to announce that your team's organizing a fundraiser. Don't advertise it until everything is ready and that there's no chance for it to be canceled. That way, you're not making bets. Number four, again, while you should post consistently, you should always make sure that you're not over posting, because then you're overwhelming your followers with too many videos and you have less chance to go viral. So you can switch slides. Now, for your trademark, your team's aesthetic appearance is a big aspect when it comes to social media, especially when you're documenting a project. having a trademark is one of the best ways to make your team easier to recognize. What I mean by trademark can be having a logo for your team or for your projects, especially big ones. I don't think I have to explain why having a logo is important, but basically you're creating a brand for your team or your project. You can also have a specific hashtag associated with your project and a color palette for your posts. When it comes to text, emojis, close of people in your posts, etc. This helps people recognize you way faster, and it also gives your team credibility because you seem more put together as a team, and your feed looks cleaner and everything's balanced. So now I'll let Zaha talk.
So our last point would be that you need to know your target audience before posting anything, because that is key for making an impact. Are you aiming to reach younger students, parents, sponsors, or teachers? Each audience has different preferences, so the way you present information should align with whom you're trying to reach. If you target a younger, older audience, like parents, teachers, or sponsors, your content should be serious, clear, and straight to the point. This group values professionalism and clarity, so it's essential to keep the information organized and easy to understand. If you target a younger audience, then your content should be more fun, trendy, and visually engaging. Here, you'll want to use eye-catching visuals, bright colors, and music that's currently popular. By aligning your content style with your audience's preferences, you'll make sure your message resonates in the most effective way. Maria, you can go.
Okay, so our last point is that we just have a surprise. So if you start an account right now on Instagram for your team, or if you already have an account, you can send the link of your account on the chat in this meeting or send it to us by the end of the day on Instagram, and we will post it on our personal professional account so that others can follow. You got this. And that concludes our social media point.
Yeah, so you can just switch this because we had our last slide. So to reach us, you can either go on Instagram at Team 3990 or on YouTube, which is kind of less good for messaging. But you can also email us at contact@team3990. You can message us on Facebook, or you can go to our website where you'll find all the info about our team.
I guess that is all for the presentations. Well, I would like to thank Tech4Kids for their presentation. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it. And to give you all some privacy, I think we can stop recording so you can ask us your questions.